Welcome back to Identity Feud, the game show where you are set up to fail. Let me introduce our first two contestants.
I'm Jake.
And I'm Harrison.
Our first question. This passage takes place right after all the Jews have boarded the train and are headed for Buna. The officers are talking to the Jews in a very authoritative manner, as the officers believe they are much better than the Jews. This type of dialogue connects to the paradox because the Hungarian officers have a violent way of speaking, a cruel, evil undertone in every action they make. The officers use dehumanization as a tactic to gain authority and power, becoming violent in the way they speak to the Jews, and they hold stereotypes and prejudice against them. What story is this analysis about?
Dude! It's obviously Toy Story. On God.
The answer is night, Jake.
Oh, no way.
You're both wrong. The answer is actually The Little Mermaid. After that very embarrassing first question, time for the second one. Question 2. The company man Phil was known as a stereotypical workaholic. All he was focused on was work, and it consumed his life. He was identified as the perfect type A workaholic. He was overweight, but he thought that it was okay because he didn't smoke, and he was in the office 6 and 7 days a week. On Saturdays, he wore a sports jacket because it was the weekend. Phil, to most, was the type of person to value work over his family, while at times it may seem that states in the article that he loved his eldest son. This connects to the paradox because Phil is a classic, stereotypical workaholic.
Oh, it's Bug's Life.
The answer is obviously company man, Jake.
Dude, you're stupid.
Unbelievable. It's obviously My Little Pony. Moving on to question 3. Okay. Rodman was portrayed in this article as a wild, reckless person who didn't care about anything besides himself with rage problems. Although he was a different person with a wild attitude who had crazy hair and lots of tattoos and went out to clubs whenever he felt like he needed a break and was drunk at some practices. Although he was portrayed in a bad way by a certain writer, video footage shows that it was an insane exaggeration about the man. He was accused of having prejudice. Many people disliked this wild behavior, and because of that, he tried to make everyone else believe it too.
The answer is the Dennis Rodman article.
Yes, finally, some competence.
Our host has switched to the players, so on to question 4. In this quote, Ellie was talking to his father about the recent decree. All Jewish people have been ordered by the Hungarian police to wear yellow star patches on their clothing to indicate that they are of the Jewish culture. This passage relates to the paradox because the Hungarian police are singling the Jews out. Ellie's father describes the star as a non-lethal, not enough to cause death, which ends up being the main goal of the officers, taking the Jews to Auschwitz in night, page 11. The officers require all the Jews to wear yellow stars holding stereotypes against them.
That was good. Dude, that's obviously Night by Elie Wiesel. I don't even get.
It's obviously not what you said.
Both of you are wrong. The answer is actually The Diary of Helen Keller.
Testing. Alright, this is an excerpt from the story. Amy's family has invited over the priest family, and her crush happened to be in that family. Like, what? She was worried her parents would embarrass her in front of her crush by acting Chinese and eating weird Chinese dinner. After her family proceeds to embarrass her to the point of wanting to crawl under the table, the family leaves and her mom talks to her, saying she would be proud about being Chinese. She then later realizes that she should be proud of her heritage and not ashamed of it. She thought that because the family she invited over saw her real family, she would be judged and stereotyped by them. And the son would never like her. Like,
It's a Blake Shelton song.
dude, you're stupid.
The answer is obviously Fish Cheeks, Caroline.
Dude, this is obviously for my camera roll. Like, I've seen this so many times. Like,
I'm so done. I am so done. You guys are so stereotypical.
bro, ain't no way. Jit tripping.